Hey guys, my name is Reclaimer. So if you guys watch my channel, then you'll know that mainly what my content focuses on is everything about competitive Halo. Live gameplays, zero to hero, stream highlights, whatever it may be, that's my main focus. So today I want to take a little break from that and talk to you guys about my grind to the HCS Grassroots program. So if you guys didn't know, if you've missed it or you don't pay that much attention, a few days ago, a little over a week ago at this point I believe, it was announced that I was a part of the third wave of content creators added to the HCS Grassroots program. It was myself, Saiyan, Shyway, and Ishi. And we were announced on Twitter that we were part of the program. I went on the HCS Weekly show and talked about it with Shyway a little bit. And then I also made a video on this channel, but I didn't really talk about my perspective too much. I didn't really go into detail. So today, that's what I wanted to do with you guys. So just to give you guys a little bit of a background, I've been a lifelong Halo player. I've been playing since I was a little kid. I remember being 5-6 years old, and I had friends in my neighborhood that had it, and I remember playing it at their house. And then not much longer after that, my uncle went to college and gave me his Xbox with Halo 1 and 2. And so I remember being, 5, 6, 7 years old, playing Halo 1 and 2 campaign, having like basement big team LAN parties with people, with my elementary school friends at like New Year's parties and stuff. I remember we used to play like free-for-alls on Hang 'em High with like 3 people, and we would do 1v1s on Headlong. If you guys remember that shit, there was a way to get on top of a building with a Banshee. So essentially, I've been playing Halo my whole life, and around the time I was 9-10 years old, I started getting interested in content creation. I had seen things like Machinima Respawn and sort of a lot of the original gaming creators on YouTube, people that sort of because for a while before like 2009, there wasn't a whole lot of gaming content. I think you could see gameplay for games, but you couldn't see like gaming content as it exists today. Did not exist, not even close. And its first form was, I believe montages might have been around, but gaming commentaries, which is what they were called at first, or gameplay commentaries rather, started to show up around that time, and I became super interested in it. And so from the time I was like 9 years old, like I remember I would take my family laptop that had a built-in webcam and turn it around and point it at my big ass huge square CRT TV, and I would record that way. I remember I had a Roxio, I had a Dazzle, I had an HD PVR, all that stuff. I was all about it, but I never really found my lane. I never really could find what I wanted to do in content. I never really got anything going. Of course, as a 10, 11, 12-year-old making YouTube videos, I never understood why my content wasn't popping off. But of course, looking back on it, it was because, I never stuck to a game. I never, I wasn't very good at it. I didn't upload very often. And so I've sort of bounced around from channel to channel. And then somewhere around the time that, I think it was around the time when Halo 4 was out, around 2013 or 2014, I sort of gave up. I was like, I didn't really want to do it anymore. I didn't care. I had always played baseball from the time I was a little kid, so I was really like, I played baseball and that was kind of my thing. But then I got to high school and Halo 5 released, and for whatever reason, I just decided, I was like, hey man, I'm going to take another crack at it. So I decided to start making content, and around I want to say early 2016 was when I started making content consistently. I started uploading to YouTube and streaming consistently, and I've been doing it ever since. So for the past a little over 3 years, I've been doing content consistently. So around 2017 would have been my junior year of high school, and that's when my parents and my teachers and family members and friends started approaching me about what I wanted to do after high school. So people were asking me where I wanted to go to college, if I wanted to go to college, what kind of job I was going to get, what kind of college I would want to go to, or what I would maybe want to do. And I never really figured it out. I'd never really been good in school. I consider myself a pretty smart person, but I never could get into school. I never could apply myself. And so I hated school. I was just ready to be done. And I knew that if I graduated high school and I didn't have a plan, that I would probably end up somewhere not so great. I have an extremely supportive family, and so I don't have any doubts that people would have taken care of me. I have great people around me, but I would have been lost. I wouldn't have known what to do, and I wouldn't have had anything. And so I decided early in my junior year that I wanted to make content creation my career, and that I was going to do everything in my power to make sure that that happened. And so I did. Throughout my junior and my senior year, I uploaded as many videos as I could. I streamed as much as I could. I went to as many tournaments as I could, trying to network with people, introduce myself to people, make content, make friends, and do the best that I could to get to the point where I could call this my career. And it's not so much that I was after the money, because if you guys, like, if you're a content creator, you know that the money's not great. Nobody does this for money. If you don't have millions of viewers or subscribers or whatever, then you're probably not making that much money. And that's fine. I wasn't interested in that, but I wanted to be able to do this every day because this is my dream and this is what I love. So I decided that that's what I wanted to do. And so I told my parents, and of course, like any good parent, they thought I was an idiot and told me that I had to go to college, which I didn't hold against them, because I mean, if any kid comes to their parents as a 17-year-old and they already aren't that great at school and they're like, hey man, I don't want to go to college, I want to play video games, any good parent would listen to that and be like, no, you're stupid. But I took that as well, all right, now I've got to prove it. So I got after it. I kept on my grind. I kept uploading, I kept streaming. I went to a couple more tournaments, and then around the beginning of my senior year was when I started to see some return. So I started to see some monetary return. Some special things started to happen, and my parents, I think, started to realize more, and that's when they became more supportive. And so throughout all of my senior year, everybody was super supportive. My friends, my family, even my teachers. People thought it was a cool thing that I was trying to do, and I really appreciated that. And that's what made it really easy to jump into it full time whenever I graduated. So whenever I graduated, which was a little over a year ago at this point, I talked to my parents and I talked to my teammates and different people, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try to make a go of making content creation my full-time gig. And ever since then, due to an extremely supportive community, and our viewers are incredible, the Halo community is incredible, and of course my family and friends made it very easy. And so for the past year, I've been making content full-time, and so for the past over a year now, I've been able to realize my dream, and it's been nothing short of incredible. I've been to so many different places, to different tournaments. I've met so many incredible people, and I've had so much fun. And so fast forwarding a few months to DreamHack Atlanta. DreamHack Atlanta was November of last year, I believe. But things are just great, man. We're just rolling. And I remember sitting in the crowd at DreamHack Atlanta next to Cole Proximity, and we were just watching the matches, just hanging out, enjoying the event. And that's when they announced the HCS Grassroots program. They played that little promo on Sunday in Atlanta, and they announced the initial 4 creators that they were going to kick the program off with. They announced a couple new tournaments and tournament organizers and stuff, and what the program was going to be. And that's when they opened up the second wave for people to apply to become creators. And so I knew as soon as I saw it that I had to be a part of it, and that I wanted to be a part of it. And so I applied right there in the crowd on my phone, and just crossed my fingers, man. I thought, how cool is it that the developer, the company that makes Halo, wants to work with and support and acknowledge their content creators. I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. And so I knew that I had to be a part of it. And so, like I said, I applied right there on my phone. And then as soon as we got home, I got right back to it. I was uploading videos, I was streaming, I was, everything. And so a couple months later, they made the announcement for wave 2 of the content creators. So they brought in the second wave of content creators for the team, and one of them was Cole Proximity, who's one of my good friends. And around that time, before the announcement, I got a DM from Tashi on Twitter, and essentially he said, hey man, you didn't make the cut this time for Grassroots, but we see you, we know you're grinding, so keep at it and apply again next time. So I did. I again put my nose to the grindstone and tried to improve my videos as much as I could. I focused on making them funnier and putting more into the editing and making them higher quality and everything. And Then fast forward a little bit again, and we go to DreamHack Dallas, which was last week. So for the whole weekend, we ran around and did the normal Halo tournament thing. You know, we hung out at the event. It was a DreamHack event, so we hung out at the venue and walked around the venue and had good food and explored Dallas and watched the matches and hung out with my friends, all that stuff. And when we were in the car on the way back from the event, I was riding with it was myself, Proximity, Big Texas, and another one of our friends, Rippin'. And that's when I got the call from Tashi saying that they wanted to bring me into the program. And it was such an incredible feeling because not only had I accomplished what I set out to do, and not only had I reached what I would consider to be a landmark in my career, if you want to call it that, you know, being acknowledged by the developer and being, you know, working with a team of people that are all trying to do the same thing that you are. But also I got to share the moment with my friends. I got to, you know, of course I was sitting right there in the car next to Proximity and Big Texas and Rippin' when I got the call. So it was incredible. So that's where we are today. I'm now an HCS Grassroots team member, and I am incredibly thankful and excited for the future. There is so much happening with the future of Halo, and I am incredibly excited and again thankful that I get to do this every day as my job. It means the world to me. I've been playing this game since I was a little kid, and to have this opportunity is incredible. And so I wanted to give a shout out to Tashi and Lalo and anybody working over at HCS and 343. I want to give a shout out to the Grassroots team members. I want to give a shout out to my friends and all of you guys as well. Anybody who is a player or a content creator or a developer or just a viewer. The Halo community is incredible, and we have something really special here. And so I want to thank you guys for all of your love. I want to thank you guys for sticking with me. I know I'm not a big content creator by any stretch of the imagination, but this opportunity, like I said, means the world to me. And so I hope I make you guys proud. So thank you guys once again. That's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Likes are appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. Much love, much respect, as always. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.